We'll be down as far as we can go without more drainage, Captain. Should be filling up fast and the pumps can empty it. Besides, loads finished near to nothing. Well, I do reckon we've only brought out up enough ore to pay half wages this week. Captain Henshaw said we'd do better taking another look at the old workings. Well, could be as I agree with him.
Well, I don't agree with him.
Well, it's either that or bringing in a new pump.
I can't afford it, Zaki.
Well, we've got to do something.
You mean I have to do something?
Well, you'll be the master.
Yes.
Who else is there for us to look to? It's not as if we ain't willing to do all we can. I've been talking to the men. We'd work for less if it'd help.
No, Zaki. It's good of you. But you must think of yourselves and your families, and those without their menfolk.
Oh, aye. There's them that was left by. Them that was took by the soldiers. Hadn't you word of them, have we?
I saw them in Bodmin jail. All the wounded have recovered, thanks to Dr. Ennis. Paul Paul Daniel, his leg's worse.
What do you reckon will happen to them?
They come up before the assizes next week.
There's not much chance of them getting off.
None at all.
It'll be transportation for them, won't it?
At the worst. Or 10 years in some filthy prison like the one that killed Jim Carter. Zaki, if you were in my position...
No. No, Captain. It's times like these. I thank God for it.
What did Zaki want?
Answers?
What answers?
I don't have any.
You do, Ross. You have all the answers.
Do I? Am I a sort of providence? If so, God help me.
There's only enough coal to keep the pump going 2 weeks.
The money's finished, Henshaw. And if there was more, what's the use of it?
Well, then she'll start flooding if it goes on raining like
You don't have to tell me.
It's the end of Wheal, Grace. Last working mine in the area. Men and their families driven away by poverty, Saul, a deserted village. Crumbling chimneys in an empty land.
For God's sake, man.
Look, let me blast that old tunnel. I saw a trace of copper where you found poor Francis. I'd stake a reputation on it.
On a fool's dream. Stay and have a bite with us.
I thought you'd take the chance. You, of all people.
Stargazy pasty. Well, eat it. Ross, if Wheal Grace goes,
It's
then...
my loss, Demelza.
But it only yours. There's a man who lent you £2,000 just to keep her open. And somebody else who owns half the shares.
Elizabeth? We both held them in trust for Geoffrey Charles, but I bought them from her.
What will?
I used £600 from the loan I was given.
You gave her £600?
For Geoffrey Charles. Francis put his last 600 into Wheal Grace and left his wife and child with nothing.
Chen with?
Mortgage to Warlagan.
But you owe her nothing.
She was Francis' wife, the mother of his son.
I'm your wife, the mother of your son.
She's a Poldark.
You mean she's Elizabeth? Oh, eat your pasty.
I don't want to.
Why don't you just let Henshaw blast the tunnel? They make the
It's dangerous. You can't tell what will happen in an old mine. It's damned unpredictable. Like a woman.
Huh? Not like a man, I suppose.
A man acts straight and to the point. Like Dwight Ennis when we were trapped in the cove. He saw what had to be done and did it. But Caroline...
She didn't know. She thought he changed his mind.
So she changed hers and went off to London and made them both miserable. Men don't change their minds so easily, Demelza. She ruined his happiness.
He should be very happy he was only fined and not sent to Botany Bay like Paul Daniel and the rest.
Poor devils.
But there's those men's wives and children, Ross. The only living they've got is for Wheal Grace. Oh, but as you say, it's dangerous. And you won't let Henshaw blast the tunnel, will you?
Very well. He can blast his head off if he likes. I'm going up to the mine.
But don't be late home.
Yes, I'm lonely sometimes. It's kind of you.
You deserve more than kindness, Elizabeth. I wish I could do more to help. Pascoe told me you'd sold your shares.
For little enough. You can't imagine what it costs to run Trenwith. The interest on the mortgage.
Is Warleggan pressing you for payment?
No.
You see him?
One can't help seeing people, Ross, in other people's houses and Truro sometimes, very occasionally.
Does he come here?
Why would anyone come here?
You're no longer in mourning. You're still a young woman. Beautiful woman.
You sound like all the old gossips in the village.
What do they say?
That I'm looking for another husband.
Are you? Forgive me, Elizabeth. There's a devil in me that always makes me say and do the wrong things where you're concerned.
Oh, Ross. That devil has the same effect on me. No, please.
What will you make me do?
Nothing. I can't make you do anything, can I? That devil isn't so devilish after all. Here's the perfect opportunity to catch two souls for perdition.
Stop it, Elizabeth.
Or perhaps we're already caught, and our hell is each other. And that unchristian gentleman is laughing at us for fearing to do what we're already damned for. It's too late, isn't it?
Mr. Warleggan to see you, ma'am.
I'm not your first visitor today.
Ross advises me on how to run the estate. He comes to see me occasionally. Did he see you?
I took care that he shouldn't. There's no point in a confrontation that could only cause you embarrassment. Forgive me, Elizabeth, but he's the last man to advise anyone on anything. His own situation is quite desperate.
That's how Ross likes to live, on the edge of the pit.
Too hot a place for most of us. I wish you'd take my advice.
I do. I couldn't manage without you.
Only in business matters. I wish it might be in everything. Elizabeth...
Please, George. Geoffrey wrote to me from his new school. It seems he's made friends with Lord Redford's son. The boy has his own servants and horses. Poor Geoffrey was quite overwhelmed.
I've never pretended to be more than I am.
He writes of going to London.
I've spent my life making money. I know it's fashionable to despise money. What if a man can trace his ancestors back to the Ark and find that Noah was a carpenter if he has no money? And no title can buy servants and horses. Money can buy both. And a title. Elizabeth, let me spend my money making a life for you. No, don't answer me yet. There's no need to answer me yet. I've waited so long. I've loved you so long, Elizabeth. I've seen your brightness dimmed by poverty and your spirit dulled by neglect. And I've longed to give you that setting in society you deserve. No, please, don't answer me yet. But if you wish to be the greatest lady in the county and have your house in London where your dear boy might bring his friends, no, please, don't answer me yet. He would be my son, Elizabeth, and heir to all my money. I've waited, my dear. I've suppressed those instincts strong in a man like me to go to other women. All my love is yours. No, please, don't say a word. All my wealth, my influence, and my power are yours. Don't answer me yet.
Jeremy's almost as big as Julia was. He's going to be a monster. Oh, he was a good little monster today, then. Should have heard him talking. He'd go, Garrick, cook. Where did you go this afternoon?
Nowhere.
Darky came home in a sweat.
Trenwith.
Why?
I had some business with Elizabeth.
What business, Rose?
I don't interfere with the way you run the house and bring up Jeremy. We each have our own lives.
More than that, it's a poor person only lives for himself. I have 3 lives. And the one least dear to me of the 3 is my own. Oh, won't you tell me, Ross?
There's nothing to tell. I went to Trenwith, I talked to Elizabeth, I came away.
You go again?
Well?
So peaceful.
That's what attracted me.
This is your land?
We've been on my land for the last half hour. That's where I'll build my house. Between the river and the woods. The plans are ready. They're only waiting for a word.
When I was a young girl, it was not so long ago, but it seems ages, I had the same romantic dream that most girls have. A castle on the cliffs above the sea.
With some Sir Galahad?
Most girls dream of Sir Lancelot. And then they wake up in an empty house on a cold rock above a cruel sea. They don't dream again.
I'm not offering you a dream. Elizabeth, will you marry me? Answer me. Now.
Yes.
We killed up on Saul Moor. The vixen went to earth, so we thought we'd look in on you while they dig her out.
Where's your captain? He should have joined us. The Scotsman did.
Ross don't hunt.
I hear he hunts the figgy pudding in the dark. And her with a face like St. Agnes. Well, we all know where lambs come from.
Hey, thank you, ma'am. 'Tis a pleasure to see you again.
He come into the ball at Wherry House Saturday week.
If Ross lets me out.
Nay, let him let himself out and let me in.
I saw your kinswoman in Truro, the one who married the sea packet.
Verity?
Aye, she was as big as a barrel. She was with Elizabeth Poldark, the widow. Though I reckon she won't be a widow for long. She was buying a wedding dress. They've dug out the vixen and her cubs. Oh, come on, Huey. We missed the sport.
Yeah. Don't forget, I'm keeping a gallop for you.
Mrs. Poldark, have you not a word for me? You played me a fine trick, but forgive and forget. Here's my hand on it. And there's an old Scottish saying, give a man a crumb, and he'll try and take the whole loaf.
What's Scottish about that?
Well, the pertinacity.
I cannot write to him.
You must. You must tell Ross yourself.
How can I when it's the last?
Simply and straightforwardly.
Oh, yes, you're very simple and straightforward.
I hope so.
When it suits you, Verity. But I remember you were quite the opposite when you ran off with Captain Blamey.
You asked me to Trenwith to stay with you until the marriage.
Of which you disapprove. It's obvious.
You're my brother's widow. Whatever feelings I have are second to my duty to be with you at this time.
Oh, yes, yes, there must be one Poldark at the feast.
Write to Ross. Or else you may find there is another. I think he will accept the situation if you write to him.
Ross, as if there were some wild demon out there to be placated. Shall we have a Helston Furry and sacrifice a virginity to fetch the summer home? Oh, I would have done it once.
You're going to marry George Warlegan?
Yes. Oh, why don't you say what you're thinking, that I'm marrying for money?
I thought perhaps for your son.
You Poldarks are a pious lot of hypocrites. Oh, yes, I can give myself to Warlegan for my son's sake. He's a Poldark. Francis can ruin himself. Ross can marry a kitchen wench, and you can throw yourself away on a drunkard. You're all Poldarks. But I cannot gratify my desire for money or a man without you turn away your eyes for shame. I must make my excuses and apologize to Ross.
I asked you merely to inform him.
Oh, to beg him for his forgiveness. No, indeed, for if I write to him at all, I'll write to say I don't need him anymore.
But do it gently. Elizabeth, Ross
is what? A failed man angry with himself for not being greater than he is. I'm going to marry a great man. And in time, a titled one. You're all such little people.
I hope we are. I hope we know we are. But I think we can love as well as lords and ladies, and when we die, our loved ones weep real tears.
Aye, and your child will be born on a Friday. Oh, what must I write?
That fate has been cruel to you. That you must live in the world. That you must consider the future and provide for Geoffrey Charles. That Mr. Warlegan has made you an offer of marriage, which, taking all these things into account, you have accepted. That you trust he will see the reason for this measure and continue with his friendship, which you value. You writing that?
No. Is that the letter you wrote when you ran off with Captain Blamey? No, I am a different woman. Ross. I will marry George Warlegan. Nothing but this can save me from a life of desolation. You cannot stop me. Your one-time cause, Elizabeth.
Are you so unhappy?
I am ecstatic.
Mom! Mom! There's someone to see, Mom! Mrs. This must just Blamey. Miss Verity it was.
Rudy. Oh, look at the mess. Run down and tell her to wait.
I couldn't wait.
Oh.
Demelza.
Verity. Well, look. Mum.
She be carrying eye at me, boy, I do reckon.
Go and do something useful. Go and make some tea. Oh, Verity, it's the best thing in the world.
I think so.
Oh, not him. He's a monster. Say something to Aunt Verity. Come on. Oh, come on. See, he never says anything when you ask him to.
Like Ross.
Mm. How's Andrew?
He's well. Demelza, it's everything I hoped it would be. You made it possible.
Well, if we'd left it to Francis and Andrew, that's all over. Where are you staying, Trenwith? How's Elizabeth?
Oh, she seems well enough.
Oh.
When Andrew's at home, we... Oh, Demelza, they're such little things. Yet they mean everything to me. I never hoped to have a husband, a family. I know I'm happy. That's happiness, isn't it? Something you know and can't say.
Mm-hmm. Happiness and unhappiness.
Where's Ross?
Oh, he's at Wheal Grace. Oh. Well, I think he's at Wheal Grace. They're blasting a new tunnel. Verity.
What is it, my dear? You can say it to me. Remember, I've known Ross longer than you have.
So is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
Ross and Elizabeth. You know?
What is it? What do you think I know?
That Ross and Elizabeth are lovers.
Oh, no, my
they
dear.
Are.
You're
I
wrong.
know they
so
are.
wrong.
Oh, Verity, I'm so unhappy. What are you laughing for? George.
Yes, George.
George O'Legan.
George O'Legan.
Mrs. George O'Legan.
Until she expects it's Lady O'Legan.
What? They're giving nighters for shoeing horses.
Please, may I have my tea?
Ross. What's Ross gonna say?
Tea?
Who's gonna tell him?
Elizabeth's written him a letter. You can give it him this evening.
O'Legan. Oh, what a fool.
Elizabeth is not a fool.
Well, then he is. But they're bound to be miserable. She'll be rich and he'll be miserable. Where will they live? At the O'Legans?
At Trenwith, until George builds his new house.
Trenwith? A O'Legan at Trenwith?
Elsa!
Well, it's been O'Legan against Poldark. Poldark against O'Legan for years and years.
My dear, Trenwith was once my home. I've no feud with George, nor should you have. Remember the feud between Francis and Andrew? What good did that do? George is not an enemy.
Well, you tell Ross. You tell Ross that Elizabeth, his love, is going to marry George, his enemy.
He may have loved her once.
Well, where is he? Where is he now?
You said he was at Wheal Grace.
Wheal Grace or Wheal Elizabeth?
I can't abide this hatred, Demelza. I can't be reasonable when you are not and go on arguing with you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Verity. I got the blue devils. I'd crossed them somewhere. I shouldn't put it on to you.
Oh, I have blue devils of my own. If there's a war, if Andrew has to go far away, if I'm alone. Demelza, there's enough trouble in the world without inventing it yourself. My dear, everything will be all right. You'll see. Here's the letter for Ross. I'll see him before I return to Falmouth. Tell him not to be too angry. It'll be all right. Kiss Jeremy for me. Yes. Everything will be all right.
What if I called it off?
I couldn't do it, Captain. The powder, the taste and the smell, it gets into your brain.
It drives you to the devil's deed. Aye. Get back up the old shaft. There'll be 30 seconds clear after the fuse is lit.
Gently, Zachy. Or we'll all be singing hallelujah.
Aye, I'll cry in hell, it's hot. God in his mercy give us grace.
Give me 2 minutes. And I'll be coming up myself. Fast.
I'll light the fuses.
Owner's privilege, Mr. Henshaw.
Oh, thank God for that. 20 seconds to go, I reckon.
Get further back, we can't dislodge your hold.
10. Here. Now. Damn you. Them fuses were in tight enough.
Not you.
You lit them.
Are you accusing me?
No, Captain,
You doubted my ability to light a fuse. You could have taken that risk yourself.
that isn't fair. I don't know what's going on down there any more than you do.
I suppose you want me to go down and find out.
Well, it'd be madness for a man to go down there.
The whole idea was mad from the beginning. Mad and bad.
Bad work, sir. It's my responsibility, Captain Poldark. I said it was my responsibility. I'm going back down.
No, sir, no. It isn't safe yet. Well, give it an hour or two.
I'm going down.
back to Henshaw's people. There'll be a service at the mine.
We could get him out.
The mine's closed, Zaki. This is the last money the man can expect from me.
He might salvage something.
Let it lie there. Judd will go with you to Saul. There's something here for every family, not much, but it might see them through the winter.
He's given the every last penny. The son won't take it.
They'll do me no favour by it.
Captain. No, you're right. There's no time for fine words and favours. I bid you good night.
Henshaw's folk live in Truro.
Leave it for tonight, Ross. You might write something they'll misunderstand and you'll regret it. It wasn't your fault.
What's the difference between killing a man and letting him kill himself?
You didn't know it was going to happen. You couldn't have stopped it.
I could have stopped him. Demelza, the money I was loaned, I kept back £200. I'm going to send it to Henshaw's family. It means we'll have nothing.
It means we'll have no money.
It's little enough for a man's life. I could have stopped him. There was a sort of compulsion. As if what was to happen somehow took us over, possessed us. As if some devil...
Now, Ross.
He said I couldn't stop it. I think
For
he knew.
God's sake, Ross. Oh, that's nothing. Verity brought it. It's not important. I didn't want you to see it tonight.
You know what she says?
Verity told me.
I can't let it happen.
Ross.
I must stop her. I'm going to talk to her.
Tomorrow.
Now, I must talk to her now.
It's too late now.
She needs my advice.
Does she ask for your advice? In a letter saying she's going to marry George Wheal? Don't go to her, Ross. Don't go to her.
You don't understand. I'm going to talk to her, to stop her. I'm the only one who can stop her.
If you go to Elizabeth now...
Is that you, Verity? Ross! What's happened? Where are Mrs. Tubb and the servants?
I didn't want to disturb them. I climbed in.
What's the matter? Is Demelza ill? You can't just climb in.
Henshaw was killed in the mine today.
I'm sorry.
I could have stopped him, but I didn't. You understand what I'm saying?
That Henshaw is dead.
That he's dead because of me. I let him throw his life away.
I'm sorry, Ross, but you must go.
Wheal Grace is finished. Torn apart.
Please go, Ross.
You mustn't throw your life away, Elizabeth. I won't let you. Whatever he's offered you, it isn't worth it.
You didn't think me worth so much before. It's too late now.
It's not too late.
You can go the way you came. No one will know, but if you insist on staying, I'll call out.
I came to talk to you.
Talk? Do you think you can talk me out of making something of my life?
I'll stop you.
Ross.
I must stop you.
Oh, my God. Ross. Mrs.
Come to bed. There's no use you waiting there in the dark. You come to bed, missus.
Oh, why, Bertie? Why?
You'll be all right.
Why did you do it? I loved him.
Come to bed, missus.
He's broken it. It's broken. He's ruined it. It's ruined. Oh, Bertie.
Oh, no.
Oh, Bertie.
Go in, Zon.
Did she see you?
No, she hadn't. Me hadn't neither.
Should think not. Out all night?
Oh, she were up all night.
So were you, reckon? He be lucky, I be a home-loving man.
Some must be lucky and some as hadn't.
He become...
That'll guard you.
Well, it just done, Sam. What you got here? Devil's Goldstone?
Where's your mistress?
Where's yourn?
Damn you, woman! I'm going into Truro. I may have to stay until Sunday. You'll miss the Dragon's party, will you mind that? Some rocks thrown up by the explosion. I'm taking them to be assayed. Kamalza?
Haven't you got anything to do?
No.
Go and look after Jeremy. Go on.
I was saying that I
I
had
don't care what you were saying.
Then it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm going.
Go! Go, Dra! Go to the devil.
In there, damn you. What have you done to your husband?
Captain Poldark sends his regrets to Sir Hugh and Lady Constance Bedregan.
Sir Hugh accepts them with delight. I've put you in the Duke of Monmouth's room, my dear.
Oh?
Don't worry. He's been dead 100 years.
Then I shan't disturb him and hope he does the same by me.
It won't be him. I trust you'll find all you require, ma'am.
I trust I will, Sir Hugh. How happy could I be with either? Would t'other dear charmer away? Sweet while you both tease me together, to neither a word will I say. With a frown that I love, that I love, that I found that I love, that I lay.
With a frown that I love, that I love, that I love, that I love, that I lay.
I was not expecting you so soon, Your Grace.
Your Grace?
This is the Duke of Monmouth's room.
Oh, is it so? Then that must be the Duke of Monmouth's bed.
I hadn't thought of that. He's been dead 100 years. I hope they've had the sheets.
May I inquire about the health and whereabouts of Captain Poldark?
He's fine.
Uh-huh.
In Truro.
Uh-huh.
Is it your custom, Captain, to enter a lady's room unbidden?
Oh, you know it is when you're the lady.
And what is it this time? Duty or pleasure?
My duty is my pleasure, and my pleasure is my duty.
means you must love the French and hate ladies.
No, I think you misunderstood me, ma'am.
No, Captain. We understand each other perfectly.
Well, I hope we do, at last. I'm going to take it we're friends.
Just friends?
Well, it is a beginning. You see, in 45, when Marshal Saxe was about to besiege the fortress town of Ghent, which everyone said could never be taken, he began with just a little trench a mile away from the walls. But he proceeded to enlarge this into a covered way, which he then developed into a parallel where he erected his batteries with Redan and Half Moon on either side. This took 3 months. Well, after a bombardment of some 2 months, he made a little breach in the curtain wall. Well, he then deployed his armies in a great trench lined with fascines and protected with gabions. And one dark night, he stormed that breach and took the fortress town of Ghent. So you see, from a small beginning came a notable victory.
Aye, but it took 5 months.
Well, he was not a very good general. I'll see you at the ball. Demelza.
I say, Con, do we really hunt with all these folk? I don't recognise the half of them.
That's because you're looking at their top halves. When you're on your horse, you're usually looking at their bottoms.
Good God, there's old Wentworth. I thought he broke his neck.
He has. Take more than that to keep you from a free dinner.
I told Mr. Wentworth. Now don't move.
Move, Mrs. Wentworth, I cannot move.
Osborne will bring you your dinner. Look at all the good things. Osborne, fetch your father a fork.
Oh, not now, Mater. Osborne, get me a bottle.
Already?
A port, ma'am. Go on, boy.
Do you think you should, Mr. Wentworth? Oh, there's Mrs. Halsey. We're over here!
Only pleasure left.
Over there! I shan't be a moment, my dear. Come along, Osborne. There's Don Clear.
You, ma'am, of Lady Constance's dress?
Right. She should have left it in the ark where it came from.
Well, perhaps it was the only one she took on board.
Do dance, Miss Halsey.
Oh, energetically, Mr. Wentworth.
A native of the Americas, sir. Round, white and succulent. A prolific breeder that requires but little encouragement. The potato, my dear. Once in a bed, there's no stopping it.
What? Dr. Halsey. Mrs. Halsey. Squire, Mrs. Wentworth.
I don't suppose you have a corkscrew?
By St. George, you'll have them riding cock-a-horse tonight.
With rings on her fingers and bells on her toes.
And she shall have music wherever she goes.
Why, Cat? You look prettier than I do.
My dear madam, we're the two prettiest people in the room.
Black nag!
Did you ever see such a charming girl?
You covet your neighbour's ox, sir.
Not his ox, parson. His ass. Has anybody got her?
Not Mrs. Halsey. Have you ever seen such a saint, a charity man? 'Tis only a Scotsman with a bag under his arm.
Ma'am, you dance like the wind on the heather.
You make a fair breeze yourself.
Well,
Osborne. Coming, Peter. Oh, Miss Halsey.
Oh, Mr. Wendell.
Osborne, my dinner. And jolly good, wasn't it, Peter?
Tacos on a ride!
Do you dance, Osborne?
Oh, enthusiastically, Dorothy.
Oh, madam, for pity's sake. Oh. I will sit down. What a cousin. To see you enjoying yourself, Mr. Wendell.
Dear Mrs. Wentworth.
Do you see Mr. Poldark? I do not see Captain Poldark. I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet coloured beast full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Do you know? Where?
Mystery.
Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Oh, Mr. Imagine buckle, Mr. Wentworth. Mystery? Mrs. Halsey. Who's mystery?
Is that you? Is that you? I was looking for the privy.
Top of the stairs, behind you. Tell me, man, what you doing?
I'll not deny it. I have an assignation with the lady in this room.
So have I.
Well, that's impossible. You must be mistaken.
It was in my own house. It's you who are mistaken, sir. To prove it, I'll tell you her name.
Oh, would it begin with a D, perhaps?
Dan. It's my house.
Oh, it's my assignation. It would be a pity to lose an opportunity that might never occur again. One of us shall go in first. As gentlemen, we will toss a coin for it. Have you a penny? Tails. Mr. Poldark. Demelza. My darling. It's me. Malcolm. I've come for my reward. Here, let me help you.
What's she doing?
Oh, ma chérie. You invited me.
Did I? Oh, yes. I was going to do something.
Oh, you will, my dearest.
But I'd forgotten.
I'll remind you. Oh, quel culotte.
Ross did it, so I thought I'd do it too, but... Well, I've changed my mind.
Oh, Demelza.
Is it
Tu es
Captain?
belle et très charmante. Try holding your breath.
It's no good.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful.
I was going to take a lever.
Yeah, but here I am.
It's no good being like his.
Oh, baisez-moi.
I'm better than his.
No! Oh, it's too late now. You brought me here to cuckold your husband, and cuckold him I will.
Captain!
You devil!
Stopped.
By George! It's heads. Demelza.